you see. So what a miracle we can do in the medical science, that all we can do, all our community can only do. And at the end, I feel this is just like that a family get together. And I want to be the family together always, and your support is required. And we are there to conduct all these events, and wishing all the participants and guests our appreciation again and again. This is very good program, and we need your support. Thanks a lot. Once again, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Akhtar. I can just say that we have been really overwhelmed by the support from the society. As we have seen, whenever we have approached the society leaders, including President, we have always been approved with our request, and we are really blessed to have all the support. So on behalf of probably, between our chapter and the society leaders, probably I am assured that continued support will be there with us. Thank you, Dr. Akhtar. So next we have a session, a small announcement session by Dr. Ramesh Gupta and Professor Jalil Akhtar. Because as I mentioned, this event is being co-sponsored by IMARC 2021, as you know, which is scheduled in December at IIT Kanpur and Lucknow. And as you know, IMARC is one of the flagship conference of MTT Society. And this year, because of the pandemic, it might go to hybrid or virtual mode. So I would request, Dr. Ramesh Gupta first to have your comments, or if you have some slides. Over to you, Dr. Ramesh Gupta. And then I will be inviting Professor Jalil Akhtar also. So please.
Thank you, Chinmoy. First of all, I really want to thank you and thank the Kerala chapter from the bottom of my heart for organizing this event and doing a great job. As a matter of fact, as I look at IMARC, which is about 5 months away from here, I feel very encouraged. I think the amount of energy, the quality of presentations that I've heard, it gives me a lot of actually hope and excitement given the situation we have been in recently. I would let Dr. Jalil Akhtar talk through the IMARC arrangements, but I want to make a few points. First of all, my congratulations to the whole team, to the speakers who did an excellent job. Each of the presentations that I heard, and there are a few I missed, and I'm going to go back and listen to them. They were phenomenal, very well done, very, very good topics that were arranged. And also to the organizers. This is not easy to pull an event of this nature, and you have done a fantastic job in trying to make it very, very successful. IMARC, as you know, is in Lucknow. That's what we have. We are organizing it at the Ramada Inn Hotel. As we were organizing it, in the middle of it, we sort of encountered this situation, particularly worldwide, but specifically in India in the last few months, which was terrible. We were all worried for everybody's health, and also trying to figure out what exactly we want to do. So we will have an in-person event in case the travel situation and the local situation remains under control. But we are making arrangements to do either a hybrid event if people from outside cannot travel, or a virtual event if nobody can travel. So absolutely, we will have IMARC 2021 in December. We did postpone 2020 event last year. And we are actually planning a very exciting program. I will have Professor Maurizio Bozzi talk more, but just to give you a sense of what we are thinking about, 3 major themes. telecom, 5G space, and then actually space technologies, satellites included, and defense technologies. So those are our major themes. We are organizing some very high caliber invited speakers from both industry and academia. We are not announcing names yet, but we are working on that. Who will be able to really give a very unique perspective, a very in-depth view of the microwave technologies. And then of course there is the heart and soul of any conference is the contributed papers. The deadline is 25th of July, so I would ask everybody to please contribute to that process. These will be reviewed. We pick high quality papers, and they will be very representative of the whole spectrum of activities that MTT society focuses on in their field of interest. And then we are planning to have a student program which we are looking at doctoral school, where we can have students, PhD students participate, and it'll be more both educational as well as inspirational, and then student competition, paper competition, and design competition, and Maurizio and again the Professor Nagendra Pathak, they're the technical program chair, and they're very focused on that. Women in microwaves, of course, is one of the areas where we want to maximize the participation of women in this conference. As a matter of fact, my personal desire is to set a record of number of women-led papers, and we will have a dedicated session with contributed and invited papers, and hopefully a panel session. And our program has not been completely finalized, but we will have that focus, and we want to have young professionals participate. And my main message is that it is your conference. It's not our conference, it's your conference, and you are the ones who are going to make it successful. So please contribute in any possible way you can with your proposals, papers. And the other thing I'll just say is that last time I was speaking with the Kerala chapter, there was a question about volunteering opportunities. And from now to December, there will be plenty of those as we organize this event, and with the success and promise that we have shown through this event, I'm really looking forward to working with all of you, many of you, to make IMARC 2021 successful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Gupta, for briefing about and having a plan. As you said, the success of any conference depends on the number of submission and the number of active people behind it, and I'm pretty sure that is going to be the case. Now, I would request Professor Jalil Akhtar to have your comments and your thoughts about the IMARC 2021. Over to you, Professor Jalil.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank you and the Kerala chapter for giving us the chance. And I mean, good evening to all of you in India, and good morning to Ramesh and Goutam in US, and Maurizio and Nuno in good afternoon. So, I mean, it's amazing to see so many people Sunday evening for the session. That means, as Ramesh mentioned, it gives us a good, I mean, hope that usually in India, people are usually, they are very much what we can call, they are having interest about microwaves, and we hope that IMARC 2021 will be quite successful. So as Dr. Ramesh Gupta mentioned, so this time we will organize it Lucknow. So IIT Kanpur is the main host, and because due to pandemic, we have not yet fully finalized. We would love to have it in person, and we still hope that, if the things improve, we can have it. But even otherwise, whatever is the mode, whether it's hybrid mode or it's in-person mode, we will have, I mean, big event. There's no doubt in this. So the dates are in December 17th, 19th, and so if you go along, and it is like done by Uttar Pradesh section, so that means we have Lucknow is close to Kanpur, so we have Lucknow Imambara, we have IIT Kanpur campus, and then we have Agra is not very far away from Lucknow. So that means they are all the 3 cities which you can cover if you come anywhere from the globe to this conference in person, which you hope. So as Lucknow is a city of Uttar Pradesh, it is a historical city. It has a lot of heritage, and a lot of things are there. If you have not been there, apart from the venue and the location, also has what we call tunde kebabs. If you have any taste for non-veg items. The good part is that we have chosen Hotel Ramada as a venue. This is a very good big hotel and is near to airport. As a matter of fact, this is not in the Lucknow city. It is, if you come from IIT Kanpur, it is somewhere just bit. I wouldn't say in between, but it is at least not far away from IIT Kanpur campus. That way also we hope that in some cases we can have some session at the IIT Kanpur also for those students, especially if they want to come to the campus. If the things improve, we can also say, for example, they can stay in the campus and they can go to the hotel for events. So we still have open, but I would say that there are a lot of opportunities, and we hope that by this time, if the things improve, we can have session both at the hotel and also some at the IIT Kanpur. IIT Kanpur, I say, because there are many students from other parts who would like to see the IIT Kanpur campus. So that's why we say that it will be a good opportunity for them. And also, if the things improve, they can also stay in the hostel in the IIT Kanpur campus. This is also what we hope, and we are optimistic about this. It's just like the hotel facilities. So it's sort of like very good hotel with all the avenues that you can think of for the conference, and including rooms. And the good part is that it has a very big area outside, so you can also have big grand exhibition if the things go very well, which we hope in any case. IIT Kanpur, that it is very. By the way, IIT Kanpur is one of the very old institute in India in the field of microwaves. If you are not aware, Professor Gupta was, started his career from IIT Kanpur, from our department. So, and that he became IIT president, MTT president at some, before he, went away. So that way is very having history of the microwave. If you see the IIT Kanpur campus. So this is like, they are the lecture halls from IIT Kanpur campus, the big halls. So as you can see there, so it can accommodate up to 500 people, and they are state of the art with all the audio video facilities. So that way it is, even if you do the campus itself, it's not a issue for us. At least for the sessions. This is the Lucknow sightseeing. As I mentioned here, this is the historical place, Imambara Residency, and these two, they are actually very old places, and they have a lot of, what we call heritage. Kanpur also, apart from IIT, it also has some things like now it's a new park which is open for kids. You have ISKCON temple and the church, so you have a lot of things together. If you want to go to Agra, and Fatehpur Sikri also is nearby, so there are a lot of touristic places which I want to say. Coming to technical part, as Dr. Ramesh Gupta mentioned, so we have 3 themes this time: 5G, space, and defense application. So we hope to invite, experts for 3 sessions, what we call the keynote speakers or even the plenary talks. Apart from this, we also, of course, the main thing is that you have to contribute. So there are a number of almost all topics of RF and microwaves which you can think of. And as of now, date is, we have 1 more week to go. So I would say, I would request every one of you to submit papers. And as you know, that IMARC is one of the, MTT-S conference, which is outside US. So that's it's a good opportunity for you. And the papers are actually reviewed. So I would say, if you look at the history, the paper acceptance days is sometimes as better than APMC, or as far as as par with IMS or even microwave conference. So that's why it's like it's very what we call conference is quite innovative, or prestigious. So I would request every one of you to submit papers. Of course, one thing this time is that because of this pandemic, you may have some difficulty in a lot of experimental results. So I would say, if you have innovation in design, even if you don't have very good experimental results, you can submit as a preliminary work, provided that there is some innovation. That also I would like to see at this stage. So we have a website. You can see there. This is a Dignitaries website. So you just go there. There all the information you can get. Apart from that, means you have a link for the paper submission. You have the details. Of course, this is not yet complete. So we populate this as long as, I mean, we get more details. But you have in principle all the details which you need for submit papers as of now. If you want to have any session or workshop, you can also write to us. This is like if you click on this submit papers, it will reach you there. This is IDAS login, and there you can just give your, if you have IDAS already, you can directly submit your papers. Okay, as I mentioned, so we would like to have in-person event, but in the worst case, if not, it could go to hybrid. So it means that you can submit papers irrespective of whether you are able to travel or not. So if you are able to travel, it's good. If you can travel, you can always, I mean, go into virtual mode. So that way, I will say that this is the something we can always try. So as of now, yeah, there were some questions where we extend the dates. Well, I mean, I don't want to commit at this stage, but you know, as we go along, because what happened that all the papers come just the day before. So I would say we'll wait till next week. The committee will have a meeting and then we decide. So I would say don't wait for extension. If you have any work, start writing and submitting now. If you have some issues, we can always discuss. But as of now, I would say start working rather than waiting for the extension. Thank you. So we have, I mean, as mentioned, keynote speakers and workshops. I would like to say here that we have a special section of women in microwaves, as Dr. Ramesh Gupta mentioned. What we think this time, something new, that we want to have one session for women in microwaves. Apart from some invited talks, we also would like to, I mean, have some papers from students. I mean, some means we have some committee to choose, say 3-4 best papers. And we want to introduce one best women student paper award. That means, like, let's say, if we have, for example, 4 papers which are selected to be, I mean, in session, then like out of 4, we can, I mean, choose, let's say, best paper award from that. That means it's a sort of 2-step procedure. First thing is that we will, all the papers with women at the first author, women student, they will go normal review process. If it is accepted, then the committee will try to review. Let's say they will choose 3-4 best papers out of this, where first author is a woman PhD student, and then we can invite them to present in this session, and then the other committee can choose the best award. That way, like sort of big, I mean, all the female participants, they have one more, I mean, reason or for them to submit papers to IMARC 2021. So details are there. So I don't want to talk much. So if you just go to website, everything is available. So you can just go, and if you have anything, any question, you can mail me. You can mail Dr. Ramesh Gupta. We have also Professor Maurizio here. Bozzi, he's the TPC chair. You can also email him. We have Professor Patak from IEEE. So actually, all the committee, they are now active, and website is ready. So anything you need any details, feel free to contact any one of us, and we'll be happy to, I mean, give you a reply. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Jalil, for giving a brief idea. And like you, we are also hopeful that the event will be in physical mode, and definitely there will be good submission. And in this context, I would like to just say, because he mentioned about the Best Paper Award, I and Dr. Debdeep had the privilege to chair the Best Paper Award and Student Best Paper Award last year. And incidentally, the Global Best Paper Award went to a paper which was, for which the first author was woman. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Gupta and Dr. Jalil. Now we have with us Dr. Nuno Carvalho, who is the chair of IEEE MTT-S MGA. He has been really very supportive with us. We had him in our panel during our L4 event, Learn from Leaders and Learn from Legends. So I would request Professor Nuno to talk something about the MGA, about the membership and WiM. Over to you, Professor Nuno.
Hey, thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting me to be here today. It's always a pleasure to to share with you some of our activities and what we are doing. And clearly, I want to say that the India chapters are very supportive of MTT, and this is great activities that you are always putting together. So I don't know if you can see my slides.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay. So I prepared a brief group of slides so that I go with you towards some of the activities we have been doing in the MTT membership and geographic activities. And let me give you a snapshot of how many members we are. So we are around 10,000 members on MTT, which is a very high number of members for IEEE society. And we are spread all over the world, as you know. But today, and since this is also a women in microwave activity, I want to share with you some of other numbers that I think we can definitely improve. And I'm sure that in India, we can improve these numbers with your help and your support. So here are very interesting numbers. So what you see, YP means young professionals. And at this moment, we have 22% of young professionals in MTT. So what I want to say to all of you is that if you are young, if you graduate recently, join us and increase this number. I think we are hungry for new people to join us. And the other number I want to show you here is really the number that is below. Let me click on my laser pointer. You see, we are only 12% of female members within MTT. And the next slide I have to you, it's very interesting. Why? Because we pick up and we went to see from our student members how we are divided around the world. And what we see is we see that in certain areas of the world, especially in region 10, the number of female members is much more expressive than the total members of MTT. So this actually says that we are doing a very good job in region 10, and I believe part of this is due to India. And this is actually a very interesting numbers. And if you look also to the overall number of student members, the female numbers approaches around 24%, compared with 12% is the double of the overall society. So these tell us that we are actually, or we should be focusing on student membership to our society, and we should bring young people, young minds, young ideas. We should refresh our society as much as we can. So this is very important to actually understand that in the last ADCOM meeting, the MTT ADCOM decided to reduce the student membership to $1. So as you remember, this year we connect with IEEE and we were giving 50% of discount for student members. Well, hopefully, starting next year, we will try to reduce our student member fees to $1 so that we can actually increase even more our membership, our colleagues, and make all the interesting activities and promote interesting activities you are always promoting. And let me also show you the young professional team for 2021 that we have in MTT. And as you can see, the gender balance here is much better than the overall membership. So this means that young blood, the young people, is actually more prone to be equal, to bring this equality to our membership. And we are very happy that we can have this large group of colleagues from all over the world making efforts to actually increase the knowledge and increase the interest in microwave theory and techniques activities. Well, then I want to share with you also some two slides from Cherry Hess. So as you know, we have a Women in Microwave. And actually, the goal is really to bring a more gender equality to our activities and to bring more women also to our activities, to promote engineers, scientists in the microwave community, to attract women graduate students and professionals to join MTT, and to increase the visibility of women within MTT-S. And this year, the Women in Microwave subcommittee is composed of these 4 ladies. So Cherry S is the chair, Kim Elliott is the coordinator, the vice chair is Wenkan Sherry Chi, and the other vice chair is Jasmine Grossinger. And I took also the slide for the Asia Pacific membership. And as you can see, in India, we have Dr. Sivada, which I believe she's here today, which is our Women in Microwave Regional Coordinator. So I think we are in the good way. Hopefully, we can bring more and more colleagues to join us in these efforts. So let me also say that in the IEEE Microwave magazine, there will be a significant number of Women in Microwave column, and most of the months are already have a Women in Microwave plan for this column. So keep reading the Microwave magazine and you'll see a lot of activities going around within this group. And focusing now a little bit on MGA, what we have been doing in the last 2 years. Unfortunately, due to COVID, this is being, as you know, a challenging process, but we have been promoting the MTT live activities online. So there are a lot of interesting speakers that are actually doing these talks in Facebook or YouTube. And we are relaunching 2 or 3 talks soon with interesting colleagues from all over the world. So the MGA is also connected to the site activities with IEEE, which is humanitarian activities. So here I give you 2 snapshots where MTT was present and giving also some talks. And if I want to put here all the activities, I will not have enough slides. So I took some snapshots from different activities and I put here around the world. So we have again our colleagues from Kerala chapter, which is always welcomed. We have colleagues from Region 9. We have colleagues from Europe, from US. So it's really a very good group of activities that we have been exploring. And let me say that thanks to the Indian chapters, this is becoming very good, because I'm really honored that we have these activities in India. So let me also stress that we start in 2021 again the Outstanding Chapter Awards, and hopefully we can continue this for next year. So the Outstanding Chapter Award is awarded chapters to all over the world, and they recognize 5% of the MTT Society chapters. So feel free to apply for 2022, because the 2021 awardees were already known. And as you know, Kerala chapter is one of the awardees, but these are the ones that were awarded this year. And we have also Karagapur there, so it's really a pleasure. And hopefully, and Jadavpur University is there also. So hopefully next year you can apply to our outstanding chapter, which is also a way to acknowledge the good quality of work that you have been doing in this year. So this ends my brief talk. The message I want to bring here today: if you are a student, if you are a young professional, join us. Of course, if you are not, join us also. But if you are a student, I think we are very happy to receive you in our chapters. I think young blood, young ideas, these dynamics are very, very important to our society. And especially if we want to make a very good gender balance, please, if you are a woman, join us. We will be loving to have you in our activities, in our meetings, and this is really a pleasure to be here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Nuno, for summarizing the activities, opportunities. And at the outset, I would just say that we are really pleased and honored to receive the Best Chapter Award 1 among the top 10. And because it's a very new chapter, it's still a 2-year baby. So thank you so much, and thank you also for announcement about a reduced membership joining fee, especially for the students. Thank you. So now I would request Professor Maurizio Bozzi, who is the MTT-S ADCOM member and current treasurer of IEEE MTT-S, to have his words on different directions. We are really pleased to have Professor Bozzi first time in our podium. Over to you, Professor Bozzi.
Thank you very much for the introduction, and especially thank you for the invitation and for organizing this great event. The quality of these presentations of this really event was amazing, and especially it is, in my opinion, a great opportunity. And I will try to explain why an event like this is an opportunity for all of us. As Nuno already said in the previous presentation, the number of female members in MTT society and in general in IEEE is typically quite low. Traditionally, the number is around 6–7%. This year, we went up to 12%. It is already a very good result, but of course, we are still quite far from a good balance between the genders. And the question is, why do we need to change this? Why do we need more female members? Well, the reason is very simple. The reason is that any organization works better when there is diversity. And something that I learned in my years as an ADCOM member is that if we want that an organization works in the best way, we need to have different kinds of members, different kinds of volunteers. We need a good mixture of people from industry, academia, and government. We need people from different regions of the world. We need a good balance between senior people and young professionals. And of course, we need a good balance between men and women. And the reason is that if we have a good balance of all components, we have different points of view, different sensitivities, different skills, different abilities. If you want to bring this concept to your direct experience, think that the case you want to design a component in your research group. Well, probably you don't want only theoreticians. You don't want only people you are able to make fabrication. But probably you want someone who's good in theory, someone who is good in the design by using some software, someone who is good in fabrication, someone who is good in measurements, someone who is good in writing a paper. You know, you need a good balance of all these components if you want that your system works in the best way. And that's exactly the point. I mean, we need all components, and in particular, we need a good balance between men and women, because only one or two components doesn't bring to the best result. So the question is also, why do we have so few women in a micro profession? Well, the reason can be that there are less female students than male students in electrical engineering in general and in microtechnology in particular. And consequently, we have less female professors. And the reason for that can be that the perception of the microwave topics are kind of male world. If you think at a student at the end of a high school who has to select the major for the university, and the student consider microtechnology something like this: waveguides and some PCB with components mounted on top. Well, probably that's not very exciting for students, especially for female students who have in mind some different professions where they can do something for the benefit of the world, for improving the quality of life and so on. Well, what we can do is explain that microtechnology is also that. I mean, there are a lot of applications, there are a lot of areas in microtechnologies that really improve our quality of life. Think of the biomedical applications. They include treatment, diagnostic, data telemetry, and so on. All these biomedical applications have a direct impact on our quality of life. And that's something that we should really explain when we talk about the micro profession. Imagine devices for fall detection of elder people. They can really give a big help if you want to improve the safety of senior people, of our parents and grandparents. So this is something that we should highlight with a young student when they have to select microtechnology, because this is also micro profession. And another way to improve the perception of and the interest for female student towards micro profession is an event like Women in Micro event today. I mean, to show the success of female scientists. I have attended some of the presentations in these 2 days, and they were amazing. I mean, they were really well developed, well presented, and this is, I think, one of the best business cards for our society and for our profession towards younger generations. And of course, we want to have more events like these. As Ramesh and Jalil said, we want to organize a Women in Microwave event during IMARC next December. It can be a session, it can be more than a session, like half day, or even a full track for an entire day. So I really invite you to contact any of us for IMARC. If you have anything in mind, we will be pleased to accommodate ideas related to Women in Micro. And of course, you are all invited to come to the conference, either in person or virtually, and give your contribution. So my take-home message for this brief presentation is the following. We need to make a common effort at any level. And we need to let everybody understand how much we all gain if we can get a more gender balanced microwave world. This is the effort of the MTT Society, and I invite you to all strive in this direction to improve the gender balance in MTT Society and in general in the micro profession. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Bozzi. It was indeed a pleasure and proud moment for us to have you on the podium. And I sincerely believe we'll have a more focused and technical session with you in future in our L4 podium, which is Learn from Leaders and Learn from Legends. Thank you.
Thank
you. Now, yeah, I would request Dr. Goutam Chattopadhyay, who is also an ATCOM member and in various committees of MTT Society, a very inspiring personality and one of our support for MTT-S Kerala chapter. I request Dr. Goutam Chattopadhyay to deliver a felicitation address, and in general, he can talk on any 360-degree azimuthal coverage he can cover. Over to you, Dr. Chattopadhyay.
Thank you so much, Chinmoy. I hope you can all hear me. I really want to congratulate you and your team for organizing such a great event. The leadership under you, as well as CJ Reddy, then Jawad Siddiqui, Anu Muhammad, Arjit Mitra, Debdeep Sarkar, Sherry, Hess, all of you, work really, I know, diligently, as well as the student volunteers, Shivada, Gopika, Meher, as well as many other names who actually work behind the scenes They are the real heroes when we organize such events. I know I have some experience. So thank you again. And the array of speakers that you all you could get, starting with Kim, today was Ashmina, then Binamul, and then Sophia, Sivada, Sadia, and it was amazing talks that we heard, and this again proved that we have so many women microwave engineers out there, antennas and micro, I'm talking in general terms, out there. We have to just find them. So they're all young professionals at the same time, but they're already the leaders in their respective fields. So, one thing that I want to, say again, that they were here because they were the best, not because they were the women. Just that our event was under the women in microwaves, and also the women, they are not asking for special treatment. What they're asking for is equal treatment, and that's what our role will be, to make sure that we do not put any roadblocks. Instead, we actually make it easier for them to come to this kind of events, so that they can be the leaders, and they are leaders on their own rights. So that's what I think, and that you all have provided that platform this is a small baby step, but we'll have a lot more to do. I am the chair of the MTT-S Meetings and Symposium Committee. So in that, we have been already working with support and the guidance of Sherry. Sherry is here, all present today. That, how can we address that in our conferences? So what we have been doing is that we are working with the conference organizers, making sure they have a special session for young professionals as well as women in microwaves. And also, we are encouraging them to have at least one keynote or plenary speaker as a woman or as well as young professional. Because once we do that, you will see, because the women who are the students who are taking up microwaves so they will see some role models. That always helps. And when I go to many places, people ask me, why should they become IEEE members, MTT-S members, APS members? That question keep coming back to us. My answer to them has always been, and also this, that because you will be able to attend this kind of events. Look at that. Look at the people who are attending. Not only these great talks that all the speakers gave, and also people who are present here. Ramesh Gupta, Maurizio, Bozzi, then Nuno, Sudhakar Rao, CJ Reddy. Then I have seen Surinder Pal, DC Pande. When the next chapter of microwaves is going to be written, the history of microwaves and antennas will be written, all these people's name will be written in bold letters. And they are stars, and I will tell the brightest star in the sky, the supernova. They're the supernovas, and we are all small planets. We glow in their bright light. And in systems, cross coupling is not a good thing, but I think it's a very good thing in our real life, because with induction, some of their greatness rub onto us. And that's why I attend. That's why I have become an IEEE member. And we learn so much from each of these events, because learning never stops. And I want to again thank you all for giving all of us, the opportunity to learn again. We learned so much through these events, this talk, new things. So I'm looking forward to all of you who are attending today. So that we'll be organizing many more such events, so that our learning continues. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Goutam. You have always been a pillar of support for us. And the one point that I take from your observation is probably the students and young people have to attend 10 conferences to interact with the people they are seeing in a virtual podium, like a president and so many speakers, starting from Zlatica to Sadia, and then Minamal, Sophia, and of course Kim, and Asimina. and the resource persons and the other stalwarts like Dr. Pande, Dr. Rao, Dr. Surendra Paul, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Jalil. So it is a wonderful opportunity, because what I have seen in conferences sometime, even though we do a very focused session, but we'll see at the end of the day, there will be hardly 20, 30 participants. So when I compare that with respect to current digital platform, and we see the some of our talks have been attended by 200 people, and even on Sunday evening now we have more than 100 people, and many more people are on YouTube live streaming. So that is the real pleasure, and we feel like that serves the goal. So with this, the first part of the valedictory session, which was basically the comments and observations from the IMAR committee and other people, that part is over. Now we move over to the second session. I hand over the virtual podium to our students, Ms. Sivada and Ms. Gopika, which is basically a feedback and concluding remarks. As I said at the very beginning, feedback is very important. Without feedback, you cannot improve your system. So we are moving to the second part of the valedictory session. Over to Sivada and Gopika.
Thank you, sir. Greetings to all the dignitaries and the participants once again. Now, we have come to the end of a lively gathering. Every initiative needs significant amount of planning and effort, but to err is humane. So yet, as Tim Fargo has pointed out once, that mistakes should be examined, learned from, and discarded, not dwelled upon and stored. So we also look forward to improve and grow further. For this, we need your valuable comments and suggestions. We now keep the podium open for feedbacks from the audience. We have a diverse spectrum of audience with international participants also. So I request the participants to unmute yourself and give your valuable suggestions. The floor is open and it's all yours. Now you may take turns, introduce yourself, and please give your comments.
We may include feedback from the speakers also.
Sure, sir.
You know what? This is Ramesh again. I just want to make a couple of points. One is that the people who really in this conference deserve recognition are the speakers themselves, who did a tremendous job. It takes a lot of prep and pulling the work and channelizing it in a limited time frame and taking on the questions. Goutam mentioned everybody else, but I think he, being humble, he never mentioned himself. He himself is a supernova, I think, in the space, and has done tremendous work with the MTT Society, and his personal work is quite remarkable. And I do appreciate Chinmoy, your initiative. Somebody has to take the helm and and drive it. So my deep appreciation for all of you, particularly the volunteers who supported that. There's so many of you. I don't want to go through the names. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. And those words meant a lot to us.
From my side, Reddy here. Excellent organization, Gopika, and also Sudha on this one. Congratulations. One thing I noticed is that when we say that it's a COVID time and we can't know the challenges, I think this is a great opportunity. I think, as you said, Chinmoy, I think having 100+ people in a session like this, impossible. Not only that, also having so many speakers from different places in one place is impossible. So you have to travel 10, 15, or maybe many years before you meet all these people. So I wish, even for speakers, even for me, I think, for example, I gave maybe 10, 15 talks over the year. I would rather have done that with, traveling all over the place. So I wish, hopefully, while we also move to the in-person conferences in the future, this mode of it also could be continued to have a broader. Also, the number of attendees shows that there is a thirst for knowledge, right? When you don't expect students to attend this kind of events and stay for that long with all that talk. So I think these kind of events will cater to that need of the thirst. I think, of course, great job with all of you, and hopefully this will continue in the future. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Definitely, we'll look forward for improving our quality definitely in the future. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else from young student side, especially the W part, our own students?
Hello,
Yes.
this is Kantamani from TC Madurai. The session was well organized. Hands off to Chinmoy Saha sir. Really, all the sessions were very interesting, and he has brought all the women fellows, those who are working in this area. It was quite interesting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We would appreciate
I just
the
want to make one.
comments. Yeah, please.
I just want to make one comment in this, that, as we all, some of, CJ and others mentioned, that this platform, I hope that we really continue this, because there is a thought that we have Zoom fatigue and WebEx fatigue, that we, but at the same time, if you look at that, even an old person like me woke up at 4 a.m. today, and I'm still excited to be present and listen to this kind of talks. So that shows that there is a lot of excitement when the quality of the speeches or the talks are really good, and when the volunteers are so excited. Look at their faces, the smiling faces of the volunteers. Gopika is smiling. So that gives us hope. That tells us that future is in good hands.
Thank you, sir.
Goutam, that you are never old. You are young. You are very, very young. Young by heart, young by your enthusiasm, young by everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make some comment. No, Goutam, as compared to me, you are very young. So first, don't call yourself
Start on
old.
your video. Yes.
Second thing is, Chinmay, and other academicians from India, we have to make it microwaves and electromagnetics popular among the students. So we have to emphasize that there is a convergence between whole communications, computers, etc. When 5G, 6G are coming, then definitely you cannot avoid microwaves, antennas, electromagnetics, and high bitrate data transmissions, and of course when field there is. And well, I morning I attended a lecture, and yesterday also, about memes, etc. So that we have to make popular, and it should be made part and parcel of the curriculum. I think Dr. Akhtar from IIT Kanpur also should take it up. You can take it up at IST, and other academicians who are there in the country, they should do it. So that's the need of the hour. We have to popularize electromagnetics. We have to popularize communications. In India, I mean, you find hardly anybody taking communication as a specialization. That itself is a bad thing. So we have to popularize uh, not only electromagnetics, but high bitrate data transmission, etc. And we have to tell them that computers also need all these things. And then EMCMI, Dr. Pande is there, etc. So we have to have something which makes it more popular, and person should not be scared. I always say person should not be scared of Maxwell's equations. No, that's the beginning, but that's not the end. We can do without those things also. So thank you very much. It was a very nicely arranged conference. I enjoyed some of the lectures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now request some of the student volunteers to give your comments.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am. This is Mahesh. So it has been a really great. I'm myself a student from IST. It was a wonderful meeting, and I have an experience. I have known my professors, Dr. Chinmoy sir and Dr. Debdeep Sarkar sir. I'm attending this conference from a virtual remote location. So I'm really glad and thankful for everyone. Right from my undergraduate second year itself, Dr. Saha sir has been really supportive of me, encouraging me in every time I meet him. and giving me all kinds of opportunities, guiding me through his PhD students, Dr. Gopika ma'am, which with whom I had a lot of luck to talk and spend time with them. So it has been really great, ma'am and sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh. I think I have interrupted Dr. Slaktika. Ma'am, please give your feedback.
Good evening again. As a speaker, it was my great pleasure to participate in this event. As I yesterday said, congratulations to all the team, starting from your chair and all the organization committee and student volunteers. You did really great work, and it was really a pleasure to communicate with you because you took care about every single detail, and as we saw, everything worked perfectly. So congratulations again, and I agree with some previous speakers that we should keep this form of organization, not only WiM meetings, but some other meetings in microwave committee, because it is easier to share ideas and it is easier to find 1 or couple of hours to attend those lectures. Although nothing can compare with the travel in person and meeting in person, but this is a great idea, a great way to share ideas and at least to get us know better. So congratulations again, and I hope that in the future we will meet at some other event, online or personally. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Looking forward to hearing from you again. Thank you.
Gopika, Dr. Safia is there. Can you request her? Dr. Safia, if you are there, please.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Dr. Sofia, if you could please give some comments or feedbacks regarding our program, it would be really appreciated.
Well, I just want to thank everyone in organizing the colloquium. It was a great experience to talk for you. And I don't have any negative feedback, actually. I thought it was a great experience, and I'm very happy to do this again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sadia, Dr. Sadia. She's also there, I believe.
Dr. Shadia, if you're present here, please, we request you to, yes, ma'am.
Yes, yeah, it was a great experience for me to get an invitation from you guys to talk about my research because, yeah, I'm pretty new in this field, but still you give me the honor to talk in this event. And I would like to thank the committee and the organizer because everything was like really well arranged. You send the mails with all the details that I don't need to come back to you and ask that I need this information. So it was like very well arranged. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Sadia. Like the honor is ours. So if any of the student volunteers needs to give your suggestions, you may please come forward now.
Hello, sir. Namaste, sir.
Please go ahead.
Namaste.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah, please. Are you audible, my voice?
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
I'm
yeah.
working as a director research, and one more wonderful session, sir. It is really a wonderful session and very much useful points pointing to the industry. But only the thing is, my suggestion is for the next coming presentations, you please highlight on the present and future trends in high power microwave, millimeter wave technologies, and pointing to the some industry based materials. They are very important, and also based on the advanced frequencies, maybe on the terahertz frequencies. Like that, you concentrate more on the practical oriented applications in the future, and this is my suggestion. Okay. Thank you.
I'll comment this one. Actually, all the talks, all the speakers, all the titles are in the future tense, but your point is noted down by our volunteers. We'll try to have a dedicated session on that in the next version. Thank you.
Sir, I think with shortage of time, maybe we can move to the next
Maybe
section.
you can request Dr. Pande or Dr. Rao to speak.
Yes, sir. Dr. Rao, Dr. Sudhakar Rao, if you're there, if you can hear us, please join us and give your comments.
Thank you, Gupta. Very nice colloquium on WiM. So I think we need women not only in our profession but also in our lives. So women, actually, this woman in microwaves is actually women intercede men. So what happens if woman is not there? I think we'll be lost in the world. So I think I have at least 2 bosses at home. My wife is a boss, so without her I cannot survive. And then my daughter is there to guide me. So she tells me all the mistakes I do. She corrects my papers and she says my English is not good. So imagine at my work also I have 2 bosses. My VP of engineering is woman and her boss is woman. So I'm surrounded by women and I think we need women not only in our professional life but also in our personal life. I think on the conference, I think both the Goutam and Ramesh, they summarized very well. I think I sort of mentioned also that it's one of the best colloquiums or workshops I attend. It's well organized and congratulations to Chinmoy and Shibada, Gopika, all his team. I think Kerala, no wonder Kerala is probably the largest section in IEEE, or maybe first or second. I believe it's second now after Beijing. So congratulations, Chinmoy, and very well done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I request Dr. DC Pande to give few comments on the program, the colloquium.
Dr. Pande, there are some issues with your audio, like in the morning. So you may please try to fix it and we'll try to have you in shortly. Same type of problem that happened in the morning. Please. Gopika.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I think we can move on towards the concluding remarks. So I request Shivada to take over the rest of the proceedings.
Thank you, participants, other dignitaries and speakers for their wonderful feedback. Now I request Dr. Zeivai Siddiqui, sir, Chair at the APS site, for his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gopika. Like I said, part of the we are part of this WiM colloquium on behalf of the AP Site Committee, and I'm more than glad to be a part of this event. This event was long overdue, and I'm glad that this chapter, the Kerala chapter, which I always say has been a trailblazer in conducting quality activities and events, I've started it, and I hope there'll be more events to follow of this nature. And more chapters will be more involved around the globe, not really, like confined to this region 10. But other chapters will also follow, like conduct events like this Women in Microwave colloquiums. And as I said, one of the things I've heard all the stalwarts and all the comments and all the, the importance of women in our life, and being a trailblazer and under the leadership of Chinmoy Saha, I have to say that the support that Chinmoy got from all the volunteers has been exemplary. All the student volunteers, especially not only women, but still Ms. Shivada, Mrs. Malavika Menon, Ms. Meher, Ms. Gopika, then I think Elizabeth George and Akshat Philip and Mr. Mahadev, they have all been excellent. This event has been prepared and conducted excellently. And on the list, one person has to take the credit, is the woman in Dr. Chinmoy Saha's life, Dr. Debarati Ganguly. She has been mostly supportive of all his events. I would say that he's had a free hand of organizing events and conducting and conceiving events because he had that support in the house. You know, that is also a very important factor that has played a part in everybody's role. Like, she has supported him unrelentlessly, and that has given him the freedom to do, you know, these activities. So thank you so much. This has been a, you know, it has been a fantastic event, and I hope, you know, more will follow, more will come from Kerala chapter and other chapters in the country and in the region and around the globe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful remarks. Now I invite Dr. Debdeep Sarkar, sir, IISc Bangalore, to give his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, okay. Thanks very much, Sivara. So I guess, I think that we pulled it off eventually. We had a really excellent attendance. And all thanks to volunteers like you who worked really tirelessly to make all this possible, and under the leadership of Dr. Saha, Dr. Anu Muhammad, Arijit, and it was a phenomenal effort. And I think the speakers gave really engaging talks. I listened, I tuned into most of them, and the topics, were from state of the art and ranging from filter to MEMS to, bioelectromagnetics, as Asimina gave today, and many more. So, but one important thing that I'd like to point out is not only the technical aspect of the talks, they were about like the inspirational part, like the journey behind these scientists coming into this present status. So, we heard from Sophia, we heard from some of the outreach activities that Asimina took. So I think that, as Dr. Bozzi mentioned, it is important to showcase this type of success, and that will eventually lead to the increase in the number of women members and bridging the gender gap and improving the diversity in the overall ecosystem. So I think in that perspective, this particular event had its share of success, and I hope that in the future events, we can have the physical mode or, but yeah, again, people pointed out that the virtual mode of the things has kind of greater reach in different aspects. So I think that is a point that we can think, like making this event maybe annual one, and joining hands with other chapters. A lot of possibilities are there. So, and last but not the least, I think, yeah, so we heard about the preparation of IMARC, and I'm really happy because IIT Kanpur is organizing it this time, and because it's my alma mater, and I hope that it will be a grand success, whatever mode it will be. And thanks to Dr. Jalil Akhtar, I'll mention because he's my teacher, and we got to learn about the IEEE activities, and we were kind of led into the MTT-S and APS student branch formation under his leadership. So shout out to him. So with that, I'll not drag too much. So thank you, and hopefully that we'll have even more successful versions of this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your comments. Now I invite Dr. DC Pande, sir, LRDE DRDO, for his remarks. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Is it clear now?
Perfect, sir.
Yeah. So I have already spoken in the morning that, okay, it is the excellent work has been done, because this is the conference, Dr. Chinmoy, you will appreciate, and everybody will appreciate that one, that, okay, in the validity function, we used to be only 30 to 40 maximum people will be there. And today, when I was saying that about 140 people in this validity function, I got really very impressive. At the end of the seminar, that, okay, at the end of this conference, most of the time people are hurry in leaving the station. But in this one, virtually, as Dr. Goutam was saying that, okay, he got up at 4 o'clock. It means that the curiosity and other things is very much high. And that, okay, I really appreciate that, okay, I have never seen any conference. Of course, it is a virtual, but out of, the people could reach everywhere. and people could attend this valedictory function such a nicely is the great. And the sessions went very well. And this has opened definitely a new, new openings in the future of our conferences. We can definitely think that, okay, when that people, suppose if we would have done the physical conference, we would have not so many of the people like that yesterday, 170, 180 people were there. So it is best that, okay, we should continue this type of the process, and the compliments to the Dr. Saha and Dr. Devarti Saha, as well as that Gopika and Sivada and Dr. Anu, all these volunteers, because I know them and I have met them in a couple of times in the Kerala whenever I've gone there. So it is my best wishes to all of you. So future, you keep on doing this type of activities, and Kerala chapter is doing excellent. It is my best wishes to you people. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your wonderful words, sir. Now I invite Sri Ajit Mitra, sir, the Secretary of IEEE MTT-S Kerala Section, for his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, Sivada. I wish good evening and good morning to all dignitaries and participants. Well, finally we pulled up. It was actually a great event of the last 2 days. The participation, as already mentioned, for all the 6 lectures as well as the inauguration and valedictory session, never went down below 100. Of course, that is all credit goes to the speakers, the moderators, the session chairs, and everyone. And the other one thing I want to highlight, this event being organized by Women in Microwave community. As far as our MTT-S Kerala chapter is concerned, we have a very good gender ratio. I think, in fact, we have more female members than male members, and that is really appreciable. Okay. So even though our this MTT-S chapter has been made our journey only for the last 2 years, but we have made rapid progress thanks to our leader, who is always enthusiastic and always full of energy with coming out with new events like this. So to Dr. Saha. And we got immense support from the other scholars like Dr. Goutam Chattopadhyay, Dr. D.C. Pande, Dr. Ramesh Gupta, and others, Dr. Nuno, Dr. Bozzi. So we are really lucky to have all of them support. And of course, the volunteers, we have an excellent set of volunteers. For this event like this, there's a lot of background work, even though it's a virtual event, but they just did excellent, I think, and all the sessions were organized almost flawlessly. So thank you to Shivada, Gopika, Meher, and all others who was there in the background. So, and also I to congratulate the entire MTT-S Kerala team and the participants who actively participated in this event. We will be organizing in the future events like this also. So please stay tuned with us. Thank you once again. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your remarks. Now I invite Dr. Chinmoy Saha, sir, Chair IEEE MTT-S Kerala Section, for his remarks and on future direction. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Siva. I think I have spoken enough for last 2 days. Only few points I would be emphasizing on. As Orijit mentioned, probably in our chapter, the male are minority. Okay, so jokes apart, we are really proud to have so many young women volunteers in our chapter, and some of them I sincerely believe are future leaders, and probably we are really happy to support some female committee. Thanks to again Dr. Goutam Chattopadhyay. I would just emphasize one particular case, and that particular case is not a unique case. It is many more cases are in pipeline. So that particular case is about a woman who is in microwave already, and she is none other than Sivada. Sivada started volunteering with us for last 2 years, and she was initially doing mainly the administrative work, and she was arranging of course there are team behind it, but she was taking care of the flyers, the announcement. We have some WhatsApp groups, so she was posting those things, etc., etc. slowly in the process, she became very much interested in microwave, and she was taking some help from us on technicalities also. So we started guiding her, myself, Dr. Debdeep and Dr. Saptoshi. We kind of guided her for her BTech UG project, and she published a conference paper in IEEE Connect. And eventually, she did very well in All India entrance test for higher studies. And now she has quite a few offers for her higher studies in premier institute like IIT Kanpur, IIIT, and other places. So this is the case that I wanted to mention. And you see, this is, of course, the volunteering starts with joy. Initially, sometimes you might feel like you are doing the legwork, but from there also there is way to reach your technicalities. So the point I want to mention is we definitely encourage our volunteers to support us in our activities, but at the same time, we are trying to support them on technical fronts. We have something which is always goes below the background, which is not visible, is that we are guiding several students. I mean, of course, I'll be guiding students from my own institute, but we are guiding several other institute students also in this mode. So this is the indirect advantage probably you can harvest through association with us. And I would probably suggest some of my younger colleagues in India and other part of the globe to involve the volunteers in your technical work and support them as well. Because at the end of the day, if we want these women in microwave to remain in microwave, we need to support them technically, and we need to make their career in this area of microwave engineering. That's why I mentioned Shivada is one case, and I am pretty sure that many more Shivadas are there in pipeline. And I am very confident that I'll be sharing few more cases in the next version of this Women in Microwave Colloquium. As I mentioned, because I mentioned next version, so we would probably sit together. We'll again be in touch with the Women in Microwave Committee. Dr. Sherry was there with us. Kim was also one of the speakers. Dr. Rashonda has been very supportive with us. So with their support and the support from YP committee and the site committee, probably education committee also, we can write to, and we'll seek guidance from all the MTT-S leaders present over here in continuing this particular event as a unique event in a hybrid mode, probably when a time allows, situation allows, we can try to move into the real physical mode. So that's are the two key points that I wanted to mention. And once again, thanks to all the speakers, and bringing them together on the common podium was not very easy. So we had to write several times, we had to plan the time schedule, etc., because we had speakers from Serbia, we had from US, we have from Europe, we have of course from India. So thank you all of you and all the session chairs and all the moderators. I won't take the name of any volunteer now because we have so many that it will take 4 to 5 minutes to just read out those names. So these are the points that I wanted to have as concluding remark, and I am pretty confident that our chapter will grow with all your support, all your blessings. And as Dr. Jawad Siddiqui mentioned, I am really probably very lucky and honored to have a woman in microwave in my family. Okay, so I am really always getting support and from her. So because of that, probably our activities are going. Thank you very much to Dr. Siddiqui for having the comment. So that's it from my side. I won't add and make it more lengthy. Thank you. Over to you, Sivala.
Yeah, so Dr. Saha, I think we can see another woman in microwave just beside.
Thank you. This is my daughter. I mean, she's she's trying to, waiting when for this event to get over, and thank you. Yeah, and see you.
Thank you very much for your wonderful remarks, sir. Now I hand over the podium to Ms. Gopika ma'am for further proceedings. Over to you, ma'am.
So now we have come to the end of the lively gathering. Before we wind up, a few words of warmth and gratitude. So now we present a virtual memento presentation as a token of gratitude to our leaders and mentors who have given us the strength, support, and motivation to complete this event successfully. We thank Dr. Gregory Lyons, MTT-S President 2021, for all the support he has given. He was joined with us during the inaugural session and stayed up for the complete session even when the time zone difference was uncomfortable. We appreciate your support wholeheartedly, sir. Dr. Yahya Amamantar, APS President, has always been our source of motivation. Even though he was unable to join us real time, he sent a pre-recorded message during the inaugural session. Thank you, sir, for being our support. We express our gratitude to Dr. Rashaunda Henderson, MTT-S President-elect, who joined with us and shared her views in the inaugural session. We appreciate and thank your support, ma'am. This colloquium hosted 6 technical talks on various walks of microwave engineering. The talks were delivered by dynamic women engineers who are motivation to the budding engineers. We thank Ms. Kim Ehlert, Dr. Slatika Marinkovic, Dr. Sadia Farzana, Dr. Sofia Rahimzadeh, Dr. K.S. Dinamol, and Dr. Asimina Kiorti for their amazing talks. We appreciate your time and effort for explaining the nuances of the field. Thank you. We thank Dr. Maria Bozzi, MTT-S Treasurer, and Dr. Nuno Borges Carvalho, Chair, IEEE MTT-S MGA, for taking out time from their busy schedule and joining with us virtually during the valedictory session. Your support is our source of encouragement. Dr. Shiban Kaul has always motivated and mentored us for all our ventures and has remained as our pillar of support. We thank you, sir, for being with us. We thank Dr. Goutam Chattopadhyay from JPL NASA for inspiring us every single time. We appreciate your effort and time, sir. Thank you for all your guidance and support. Dr. Surendrapal from ISRO and Dr. DC Pande from DRDO have always extended their help in our times of need. They are our source of guidance and inspiration. We thank both of them for their constant motivation and support. Dr. C.J. Reddy, APS White P Committee Chair, has helped and motivated a lot to successfully finish this event. We thank you, sir, wholeheartedly, and we express our gratitude to Dr. Ramesh Gupta and Dr. M.J. Akhtar, the General Co-Chairs of IMAR 2021. Your association and support matter a lot to us. Thank you, sirs. We thank now Dr. Sagar Rao from Northrop Grumman for being with us always. He has always been our well-wisher and mentor. Thank you, sir, for your support. Dr. J.Y. Siddiqui, APS Site Chair, has been our mentor and guide for all our initiatives. We thank you, sir, once again. We now thank Dr. Chinmoy Saha, MTT-S Kerala Chair, for being with us. Without your guidance, none of this would have been possible. Thank you, sir, for your generous support and motivation. Ms. Sherry Hess, MTT-S WiM Committee Chair, has joined with us during the inaugural session. She has explained the activities, opportunities, and future plans of WiM in detail during her talk. We appreciate your effort and time, ma'am. Thank you. We also express our gratitude to our session chairs who have helped us conducting this event successfully. We thank Dr. Debdeep Sarkar, Dr. Saptarshi Ghosh, Dr. Abhilasha Mishra, and Dr. Deepthi Das for your constant support. Your effort matters a lot. And lastly, but importantly, we thank Professor Mohammed Anu for providing the necessary guidance and inspiration. We appreciate all your efforts, sir. Thank you. So we now request all the participants to switch on their video for a virtual shoot.
I'll take 30 seconds before that.
Sure, sir. Sure.
So thank you very much. It was a kind of surprise. Some of the slides you showed was a kind of surprise because I was aware of some of the slides, of course. And we don't have words to thank you people, Gopika, Meher, Sivada, and many more. So as we have done earlier, we'll appreciate your effort during our annual function where we have introduced the Best Volunteer Award. And as you have seen, some of those have featured in AP Magazine and MTT-S Magazine. So that's how we'll be doing it. Thank you so much to all my team. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I request the participants to please turn on your video so that we can have a photo shoot. Thank you all. So I now request Ms. Shivada to carry on with the further of the formalities and go for the announcement of the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Professor Anu Mohammed sir, Faculty Advisor, IEEE APS and MTT-S Student Branch Chapters of Government Engineering College, Barton Hill, for the vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Shivada, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, one and all in the meeting. On behalf of the organizing team, at the outset, we would like to express sincere thanks to all dignitaries who accepted our invitation and graced the inaugural sessions, technical sessions, and valedictory sessions. I don't want to comment the leaders and stalwarts who shared their thoughts to the future generations in the valedictory sessions and as well as in the inaugural sessions. At the bottom of our heart, we like to thank Kim Eilert for her lecture, linking the significance of field theory and its applications in RF and millimeter wave filters. Then Dr. Slatica Madam from University of Nice, Serbia, for her talk on applications of ANN in active devices. Sadia Madam from Chalmers for sharing her experiences in micromachining of gap waveguide for millimeter wave and sub-millimeter wave applications. Dr. Sophia from JPL for sharing the involvement of MEMS in terahertz applications. We thank Dr. Meena Amon from LRDE for her talk on radar antenna technology, and Dr. Asmina from Ohio State University for wonderful session in wearable and implantable antennas. In essence, all the speakers delivered talks on diverse fields in RF millimeter wave, which is very much required and needed at this hour to instill the young minds to get inclined with RF domain, especially in this pandemic situation. These kind of lectures will be more beneficial rather due to the since we can't have any offline methodology right now. This kind of small 1 hour sessions will be even more useful rather than like a FDP kind of thing. I'm not against that, but still. Then we would like to thank IMAR committee members, APS Site and Young Professional Committee for extending their support for this virtual colloquium. We would like to thank sincere thanks to our session chairs, Dr. Saptarshi, Dr. Abhilasha, Dr. Deepthi, Dr. Siddiqui, Dr. Debaradi, Dr. Saha, Dr. Debdeep. Thank you all for making the sessions very interactive. Also, I would like to appreciate our moderators for your role, like Ms. Ambu, Ms. Malavika, Ms. Meher, Ms. Gobiga, Ms. Shivada. You people are really an asset for our AP MTT. Wishing you all to reach even greater heights. Also thanking academicians, industry scientists from all over the globe for keenly and attending the sessions and interacting with the speakers. As an advice to the undergraduate students, do attend these kind of events, and as pointed out by leaders, do reach and interact with these kind of quality speakers, even later through mail, LinkedIn, etc., so that through knowledge or skills you acquired, you can better shape your career. Finally, would like to sincerely appreciate the outstanding commitments, tireless effort from our volunteers from GEC Barton Hill, Indian Institute of Space Science Technology, and sincere thanks to the office bearers for your efforts towards the colloquium. We thank all the speakers, mentors, collaborators who have been associating or associated and have the special consideration and support to our Kerala section and its SBCs. We look forward to reach out with newer collaborations, keeping the past ventures intact and thereby expecting more mutual technical benefits as well as humanitarian aspects. With the support from MTT-S and WiM, I request to continue this event in coming years for the benefit of all, especially undergraduate students, in similar lines the way we conduct ISO by the Indian Institute of Space Science Technology, involving academicians and industrialists from prestigious institutes and organizations RF domain. With the support from headquarters, Region 10, etc., we will be doing more focused technical events, webinars, workshops, etc. So tune in for updates from Kerala section. Concluding, that's all. Thank you. Over to the moderator for further proceedings.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving the vote of thanks. Now, I invite Dr. Chinmoy Saha, sir, for further remarks.
Yeah, no more further remarks. Just to online, thank you all. Thank you to the leaders, the guest of honors of the evening, Dr. Nuno, Dr. Bozzi, Dr. Goutam, Dr. Ramesh, Dr. Pande, Dr. Surendra Paul, Dr. CJ Reddy, my colleagues, to both the societies, all the affinity groups, and of course, a big thank you to all the participants. So with this, we conclude. And if anyone has any very quick comment, you may please pass on. Thank you. Thank you. So thank you, Professor Bozzi. We'll try to have you in our virtual podium very soon, in our L4 podium, learn from leaders and learn from legends. So with this, a good night to everyone. Good day. And because pandemic is not over, a safe life ahead. Thank you all. Thank you, everybody. Namaste. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You may close the live stream.